Friday. Nice to see you, Scott.
It's great to see you.
Well, I decided to come in on a Friday. It's kind of a strange week.
Hey, one day at a time, right?
Well, I was going to come in
take 2 days off.
I was going to come in yesterday, and then our travels from Texas got a little delayed because of the weather, of course, watching things, and I decided, well, should we stay in Corpus Christi an extra day? And thought, yeah, that probably makes sense for a lot of reasons. Plus, it was still a 70 there. But then the cold front hit. And, you know, one thing I will tell you is that when Arctic fronts barrel in from the Dakotas and they go all the way to the Gulf Coast, they really do feel cold. It was actually like I had my coat, I had my stocking cap on.
You had your South Dakota gear with you?
I had all my South Dakota gear, and I needed it. So it has been cold for many in the country, and I think we're all ready for a change, and your 10-day has that.
Well, BK, I think you're bringing that change with you because we do have warmer temperatures for this weekend, 40s, 50s, some in the 60s. Wind will be back, too. That's one thing that we'll have to watch, especially early next week in the western South Dakota. 10-day temperature trend, we do have these numbers back to the 50s for highs early next week.
Yeah, and then we'll just see where it goes. I mean, I know the long-range picture is a little colder at the very end, but nothing like what we've had. And certainly a calendar that reflects all of this, Scott. You put this together.
Yeah, this is Aberdeen's low temperatures so far this month. Days below zero, it counted up to 18. Their climate average of being below zero, 11. So we're well beyond that. This morning, I think that makes up to day 14 with consecutive days being below zero. Sioux Falls graphic, we're at 11. That's above our climate average of having 7 days being below zero. And today's one of those days at 1 below.
Yeah. You know, the interesting thing is the first couple days of the month, though, well, that was the carryover from late January when we had all that mild weather. And it looks like that's where we're going back to at the lows at night. Can you imagine that? Lows at night in the 20s and 30s again. And that's just around the corner. We don't have to wait too long.
Well, look, we have 20s and 30s in Custer and Spearfish. You're always an advocate of saying you look at those temperatures, and if they're much warmer than what everybody else has, it's just a matter of mixing that warmer weather down, that warmer air down, and we'll do that today with strong southerly winds. We're at 1 below right now in Worthington, 4 below in Brookings, 1 below in Aberdeen, 10 in Sisseton. That's always an indication, too, of some warmer weather aloft. As we have our southerly winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Wind gust in winter near 30. So we will have some stronger wind gusts today, too. Areas of blowing snow will be possible in eastern, southeastern Kettleland.
Yeah, the wind can kind of rake that over a little bit, but there's just not a lot of water to this snow that those of us that do have it on the ground. So as we watch the weather, even tomorrow, I think we're going to open the door to some of this melting. And of course, wind chills, yes, in the short-term forecast, we'll be dealing with that. So here is the hourly update here as we go into the day today. There are some high clouds in north central South Dakota, so part of this warm front moving in, but no surprise, not much moisture attached to that. And then the hourly number, Sioux Falls, we should be at least near 24 or 25 for a high today. And Rapid City, much warmer, in the low 40s we're expecting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sandwiched in between, we've got 30s, Chamberlain and Pierre. And then tonight, we should be able to watch some of those mid-level clouds moving east, and temperature-wise overnight, not as cold, and the hope is we can keep everybody above zero tonight. And then tomorrow, we're off to a warming trend. Let's see how fast this is. But a lot of 40s should be positioned from Sioux Falls west. And then it looks like even a couple of spots near 50, like Winter and Rapid City could easily be in that category. And frankly, we get into Sunday, and we're going to continue to go up. The question will be the counterbalance between the residual snow on the ground and the wind. And those are some players there we can kind of continue to tweak a little bit into the weekend. But obviously, any of this is much warmer than we've had, isn't it?
Let's look at tomorrow, 30s, 40s, and 50s. 50s in central South Dakota, western Kettleland. Welcome to spring on Sunday. Temperatures in the 60s. Can I say that?
It is hard to believe, but it is just this fact that, and I like to say a lot of times with these Arctic fronts, in this particular scenario, classic. It's like draining the bathtub. All that cold is drained out of Canada, and now we're just left with the replacement, and it should be in the 50s and 60s on Sunday. West of Sioux Falls, the Sioux Falls area, we're thinking 50-degree weather. on Monday, and even more 60s to the west.
And watch that wind on Monday, too. We'll
Yes.
have strong winds on Monday. Again, keeping that atmosphere mixed. We'll keep the warm temperatures around. Our temperatures today warmer than what we had yesterday, 20s, 30s, and 40s. We'll have more details on your forecast coming up.